I back my pillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows, and nothing's worked like my pillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress toppers, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regularly $89.99, now only $29.99, or My Pillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
Go Anywhere pillow is really comfortable, so that's what I really like. It's nice and supportive, and it's nice and small.
The My Pillow topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and just get rest.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the My Pillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud.
My Pillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com to get deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but so much more. For example, you get body pillows regularly $89.99, now only $29.99, or My Pillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Download the Channel 3000 app today.
School year, how one group is working to make sure all students have what they need while learning from home.
Plus, new restrictions for UW as the number of cases on campus continues to rise. Why some students think the rules won't stick.
And we're heading back to work and school this morning with wet weather. All the details coming up.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, folks, and happy Tuesday. It is September 8th. I'm Leah Lynchine.
And I'm Josh Breiter. Chris Stanford has the morning off. It is the first day of class for students in the Madison Metropolitan School District, but they'll still be at home today.
The district made that call earlier in the summer, keeping kids at home learning virtually until at least the end of October. One thing that's not changing, though, the need for school supplies.
Every year, the Foundation for Madison's Public Schools works to make sure each student has the supplies they need to have a successful school year, no matter where they learn.
That goal continues, even with classes going virtual this quarter. Gabriella Becerra joins us this morning, live from Toki Middle School, with how those supplies are changing this year. Good morning, Gabby.
Good morning, Josh and Leah. Every school supply that you can think of and more is on the wish list this year. But what's different is that students are going to eventually need 2 of every kit, one for at home and one for when schools open back up. The goal of the Foundation's supply drive is to make sure every student has access to the supplies they need to be successful at school. The Foundation's executive director, Melinda Heinrich, says research shows having the right supplies drives academic performance. And she says they are working to fill any gaps to ensure students get a full and equitable education.
This is partly our community coming together, working together to make sure that our students have the supplies they need and that those supplies are the same supplies as the next door neighbor, the neighbor across the street, because we purchase the exact same items for every kit.
A full supply kit costs about $50, and the Foundation's goal is to provide kits for 5,000 students in Madison schools. Stay with us, because coming up in the next half hour, we'll share what's new on the list this year and how you can help students get what they need.
Gabby, thank you very much. So this is the second go-around with virtual learning for a lot of parents, but it doesn't necessarily make it any easier.
Luckily, there are things you can do to help your children better adjust to learning from home and even thrive. Brenna Patterson is a pediatric occupational therapist with Unity Point Health Meriter. She joins us live this morning. Brenna, good morning. Thanks for waking up with us.
Good morning.
So first off, our first question this morning, what can parents do to help kids stay focused and on schedule?
Yeah, so I think keeping a consistent schedule every day, like a normal schedule that a school would have, would be the most helpful thing for both parents and kids, so they know what to expect every day. And ideally, they would be able to check in each morning and know what's happening so that the kids can kind of manage the expectations of the day and the flow of the day. And then making sure to work in purposeful breaks is going to help their kids' brains be able to stay on task.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. Why are breaks so important, especially when you're learning virtually? You're staring at a computer screen all day.
Yeah, so your brain is actually highly activated when you're staring at a screen, especially because of the blue light. And I think we've heard a lot about it in the recent years, but I'm wearing blue light reducing glasses. So that's something you consider using. You can consider using when you have to actively work with a screen. Because what I've found with kids that I've been working with is that you can wear these blue light reducing glasses, and even for myself, and it actually reduces the headaches, the amount of intense focus that you have on a screen, because I think we've all experienced someone trying to talk to you while you're looking at your phone or your screen and you just don't hear them because you're all in. Another thing about taking breaks is that your brain is really set to focus for about 25 minutes at a time, and it really needs that 5 minutes to take a break and kind of reshift, refocus, because I think we all know if you work too long, you kind of get this burnout, and then you need a really long break, and it kind of impacts the amount of work that you can get done in a day.
I know parents are having a lot of stress right now with all of this. Is there anything they can do at the end of each day to make the virtual learning experience better for their children?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think a check-in at the end of each day is going to be the most helpful part for both helping your kids feel like they have a little bit more control, because this distance virtual learning kind of feels like it could be this ambiguous. We don't know when life's going to get back to normal, especially with school. So talking about what went well each day, and then talking about something we can try to do better tomorrow is going to help focus in on the here and now, and trying to keep the questions open, or kind of like a prompt, like today my favorite part of school was, and then have them fill in the blank. Because the yes and no questions, like did you have fun today, is just going to get you a yes or no.
Interactivity is key. Brenna, thank you so much. Some really great advice there.
Thank you.
Have a good morning. 6:04 your time now. T-Mobile is offering free internet to millions of students who might not otherwise get connected. The program is called Project 10 Million. It's a partnership with schools. The $10 billion initiative will provide free wireless hotspots and high-speed data, as well as laptops and tablets at cost. T-Mobile notes some 50 million students are learning from home right now. It says the idea is to make sure technology gaps don't cause achievement gaps.
UW-Madison's chancellor is telling undergraduate students to stay in their residence unless necessary to leave. Chancellor Rebecca Blank writes that data links a recent rise in COVID-19 cases on campus to social gatherings without mask wearing and social distancing. For the next 2 weeks, she'll be telling all undergrads to only leave for activities deemed necessary, things like in-person classes, going to buy food, and working. Some undergraduate students say they're concerned by parties they've heard about and hope the guidelines can be followed in order to keep campus open.
Ideally, everyone would follow it, and I feel like I will do my best, but with what I've seen so far, I'm concerned about how those restrictions would be enforced.
In her letter, they say UW will continue to hold students accountable for their actions on and off campus, which could include emergency suspension.
So those new restrictions come just 3 days after UW and public health officials issued a mandatory 14-day quarantine for 9 fraternities and sororities. The 9 chapters have just about 420 members, nearly 40 of which have tested positive for the virus. Violation of that order would result in a court-ordered quarantine, plus a possible fine of up to $10,000.
6:06 on a Tuesday morning. Meteorologist Hattie McLean is here with a look at your first warn weather forecasts. And cool and wet out there, Hattie. Big change from just a few days ago.
Certainly is, Josh and Leah. We've had a big change of just the last 24 hours. You'll notice that it's going to feel much cooler today. Now, we do have some rain still on the radar map, mainly well south and east. It's drying out as Janesville and Monroe right now. For the rest of the area, temporarily dry. I say temporarily because there's quite a bit of moisture still associated with this system, and we're seeing some of those showers and isolated thunderstorms begin to spread into central Iowa. They're going to make their way towards southern Wisconsin rather quickly this morning. Hard to ignore the snow that's on the map in Wyoming as well. Temperatures are cold enough. Rain changed to snow overnight in some of those higher elevations, and there could be some snow accumulations going through the day today. All of this is along a front. Here in the Midwest, it's a stationary front, so it's not going to move much as this area of low pressure rides along along the front, we'll see that moisture return. That same moisture that we're seeing in Nebraska and Iowa this morning. The temperatures are going to be cool today, not cold enough though to support snow. So our forecast is all rain. Let's take a look at things closer to southern Wisconsin. Again, very cloudy this morning, a pretty gray and dreary start to the day. Northeasterly winds will be increasing through the day. That's going to keep temperatures nearly steady. Temps will only climb a degree or two today to 54 here in Madison. By 9:30, some of those showers beginning to spread across the Mississippi River Valley, and then the on and off rain showers continue through the afternoon and evening. Again, a few rumbles of thunder will be possible, but no severe weather is expected. The wet weather continues into tonight and through the day on Wednesday. Let's keep this forecast model going through Wednesday towards midday. Scattered showers still expected even in the afternoon and evening on Wednesday. Total rain amounts are going to add up over the next 2 days to possibly over an inch from Madison and points to the north. Here's a look at your extended forecast. If you're not a fan of this big cool down just yet, you don't have to worry. We're not going to stay in the 50s. We're back into the 60s on Thursday and Friday, and then we get back into the 70s with sunshine on Sunday.
So is it officially pumpkin spice season now, Leah?
Well, maybe with the 50s today.
The pumpkin spice is not what you guys make fun of me for. It's the bringing in the plants from outside. Patty gave me a lot of flack last week for asking about that.
You're okay right now. Luckily we have clouds. If we didn't have clouds, it would be significantly cooler.
See?
My flowers are looking kind of rough on my patio today.
Bring them in.
They're getting watered today.
Thank you, Hattie. Breaking news, drug makers working to make a vaccine for COVID-19 are joining together, making a pledge that they will not take shortcuts on science amid pressure to rush a preventative measure to the market. 9 companies, including Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson, put out a letter in just the last half hour. They say, quote, "In the interest of public health, we pledge to always make the safety and well-being of vaccinated individuals our top priority. The companies will not submit vaccines for FDA approval until they are shown to be safe and effective in large clinical studies." Bloomberg reports the document is intended to calm fears that a vaccine will be pushed out before it's ready because of political pressure.
Daily testing for the coronavirus will continue on into the NFL's regular season. According to USA Today, some players will be tested every day, except on game days. Instead, pregame tests will be done the day before at that point. Teams playing away games must test before they travel to their opponent's stadium. According to the Players Association president, they intend to continue to update protocol throughout the season, saying, quote, "As the science evolves, we will evolve with it." The Bucks still hanging in there in round 2 of the NBA playoffs. They won Game 4 against Miami on Sunday, but still trail the Heat 3-1. Another loss would mean a disappointing end to their season. The big question here, whether the Greek Freak will play. He left Sunday's game early with an ankle injury, and his status for tonight is still up in the air. Tip-off is tonight at 5:30.
6:10, let's take a look at the latest traffic conditions on this Tuesday morning. If you're heading out across the Madison area, we're starting to see some delays popping up along Park Street. Also, John Nolan Drive and East Washington Avenue looking a little slow as well. Beltline looking good so far, though, if you're heading inbound. Take you 4 minutes from the interstate to John Nolan Drive, and as you head into the city this morning, looks like we're moving at posted speeds out of the city on John Nolan Drive. You'll have a few delays. That's your first one traffic.
6:11 now, still ahead. Wildfires continue to burn across the western portion of the U.S. after a weekend of record high temperatures there. The latest on the efforts to contain those fires.
And Campaign 2020 stepping up in Wisconsin. Coming up, we'll hear from Vice President Pence and Senator Kamala Harris from their visits to the Badger State yesterday. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
It's Slumberland's huge Labor Day sale. Now is the time to focus on your home for less. Get this stylish, comfy sectional for just $9.98 and get the storage ottoman free. Or an incredible price on this highly recommended Sealy Posturepedic Queen mattress for just $4.49. If you've been waiting for our very best deals, this is it. And get free shipping with no minimum. You don't want to miss this one. The Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota compact and subcompact tractors. Our reliable #1 selling tractors are designed for easy operation and feature all the performance-matched attachments needed to tackle any job. Right now, get 0 down and 0% APR for 84 months and save up to $1,700, plus no payments for 90 days.
Lawless
Criminals terrorize Kenosha. Joe Biden takes a knee. Biden and the radical left's weak response has led to chaos and violence, and their calls for defunding police would make it worse. President Trump is making it stop, sending National Guard and federal law enforcement to protect Wisconsin's families. Communities, not criminals. Jobs, not mobs. Strong leadership when America needs it most.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Since 1902, Carrier has been inventing new ways to make people comfortable. And today, comfort can also mean efficiency. Because being more efficient with your home heating can mean spending less on it. And that's something everyone can get comfortable with. If you're ready for Carrier comfort, now you can get cool cash rebates of up to $1,650 on a new system. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Kurt Schlickow, Heating and Cooling, serving Sauk County and surrounding areas.
Call Greiber Heating and Sheet Metal in Wanakee, serving all of Dane County.
Right now, you can get 0% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2020 Toyota RAV4. To learn more about this and other great offers, visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
A1 Furniture and Mattress on Stoughton Road is now open, featuring affordable in-stock name brands for every room, with a huge selection that's hard to beat. That's why we're A1, locally owned and operated since 1980.
At Papa Murphy's, we knead seriously, chop seriously, and shred seriously. Because we're serious about Tuesdays, even if you're not. Every Tuesday, get a large pizza for just $10. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
We're back at 6:14 this morning. Right now, both political parties are making it clear Wisconsin is a must-win state in the 2020 presidential election.
Vice President Mike Pence and Democratic VP nominee Kamala Harris both made stops in the state yesterday. Vice President Pence had stopped in the La Crosse area, making a speech at Dairyland Power Cooperative. He talked about reopening the nation's economy following the shutdown earlier this year and pushed for kids to return to in-person learning. He also defended law enforcement and criticized protesters, focusing on rioting and looting that we've seen in Kenosha and Madison.
And this violence against civilians, against property, and against law enforcement must stop, and it must stop now.
The vice president says police departments would not be defunded under a second term with President Trump.
On the other side of the state, Democratic vice presidential nominee Senator Kamala Harris traveled to Milwaukee. There she met with the family of Jacob Blake. A Kenosha police officer shot Blake 7 times in the back, leaving him paralyzed from the waist down. Harris says she told Blake's family they have her support.
I mean, they're an incredible family, and what they've endured, and they just do it with such dignity and grace, and you know, they're carrying the weight of a lot of voices on their shoulders.
Harris also met with union leaders at an IBEW training facility. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden says he'll make campaign stops following the Labor Day weekend. President Trump has rallies scheduled this week in North Carolina and Michigan.
Facebook is reportedly planning to pay some users to quit using its app for a while. It's part of a study into the impact of social media on political attitudes during the upcoming election. A survey sent out to some Instagram users says if they opt in, they would deactivate their accounts later this month. Facebook expects up to 400,000 people to take part in the research. It's to be done by independent researchers, not paid by Facebook. The findings would be published next year.
6:16 right now. If you're not digging this cool and wet weather, just go to Colorado. Today's forecast for Denver calls for snow. That city is under a winter storm warning this morning, just 3 days after parts of Colorado hit 101 degrees. Denver sitting in the 40s this morning, a 60-degree drop since Sunday. Hattie's keeping an eye on this morning, Hattie, and I tell you what, it could always be worse, right?
Yeah, Denver is famous for these rapid temperature changes, even throughout the entire winter. So this is nothing new for those that live in that part of Colorado, but still feeling a little bit early for these winter storm warnings to be so widespread. You can see storm warnings and winter weather advisories in effect for much of Wyoming and most of Colorado. Now, there will be some accumulating snow. This forecast model is predicting quite a bit in Denver. I think those higher amounts are going to be just west of Denver as you head up into the mountains, but you get the idea. Winter starting a little early for parts of the Rockies. Now, we have precipitation here, but our temperatures, even though they're colder than they should be, are definitely not cold enough to support snow. So it is a cold rain in our forecast for today. You can see a broken line of rain activity extending from Nebraska all the way into Michigan this morning. And again, we're in a little bit of a break in that precipitation right now, but all that activity you see building across Iowa is set to move into southern Wisconsin as we head through the next couple of hours. So through 7 or 8 o'clock, relatively dry, but then those rain chances ramp up. Expect to get wet later on today and right into tonight and Wednesday. Here's a look at our temperatures over the next 12 hours. I'm going to stay nearly steady. What you see is what you get temperature-wise. I'll tell you that my jacket feels pretty nice outside this morning. It is going to be breezy, if not windy today, with those winds around 20 miles an hour from the northeast. Temperatures are going to hold steady in the 50s. That's about 20 degrees cooler than we should be for the first part of September.
All right, I'm going with Josh. It could always be worse. Could be Denver.
Very true. I could be forecasting snow today.
That's what I'm trying to hold on to today. 50s isn't bad. 50s isn't bad.
The umbrella is better than the snow shovel.
Exactly.
Any day, right?
All right, Addie, thank you. 6:18 now. The U.S. is expected to hit more than 190,000 coronavirus-related deaths today. This as the 7-day average of COVID cases in Wisconsin continues to trend upward. However, the percent of positive cases did drop yesterday to around 10% after spiking to over 16% rather, over the weekend. About 600 more people in the state have tested positive within the last day or so. Grant County health officials announced this weekend someone in their community has died from COVID-19. That brings the total number of deaths to 1,172.
Right now, 22 states are reporting a rise in COVID-19 cases. Just about 3 weeks ago, only 3 states said cases were going up. Reuters reports most of those new cases are popping up in rural parts of the South and Midwest. South Dakota is showing the largest increase, up 136% in the last 2 weeks. Health experts are attributing that in part to the Sturgis motorcycle rally held there at the start of August. Dr. Anthony Fauci says South Dakota is on the list with 6 other states, including Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana, that are most at risk for a surge in cases.
With cold weather approaching, infectious disease experts are now preparing for the possible second wave of cases. The Washington Post reports the surge would likely begin sometime in the next month, but wouldn't peak until after the November election. Health models from the University of Washington are predicting the daily death total to be just over 1,900 on Election Day. That's about double the current rate. In early December, it could reach 2,800 a day. By the end of the year, the model averages around 410,000 total deaths.
Despite the growing number of cases, it remained a busy holiday weekend for air travel. TSA says it screened almost 1 million people on Friday, a record high since the pandemic began. That's still only half the number of travelers from the year before, though. The TSA says they saw less people on Saturday. Only about 500,000 people traveled that day. 6:20 is your time this morning, and still ahead for us right now. You'll want a golden ticket to this real-life Willy Wonka style contest. How you can win your own candy factory.
And coming up in our next half hour, only on News 3 Now this morning, with kids in Madison starting school virtually today, we're talking live with the new school superintendent, Dr. Carlton Jenkins. He's going to answer any questions you might have about the upcoming school year. That's when News 3 Now this morning returns.
Get the facts with Reality Check, only on News 3 Now.
Gear Up for Fall is on now at Sloan Implement. Run with the John Deere 1025R compact utility tractor. Get 0% for 84 months on a 1025R. Get a John Deere now during Gear Up for Fall and Powered Up with Sloan.
Replacing your windows with Renewal by Andersen is easy. We're here when you need us, and we'll work with you the way you want. We can inspect your windows from the exterior of your home. And when it's time to install your new windows, we complete most jobs in as little as 1 day, minimizing the amount of time in your home. Our teams take health and safety seriously. It's the kind of experience you've come to expect from the Renewal by Andersen name, and the promise you deserve with our signature service.
Lately, we found new ways to support and care for each other. And while every gesture counts, so too does every dollar. That's why American Family Insurance is returning $425 million to our customers. This includes a 10% savings for all current and new auto customers for the rest of the year. We hope this does your world some good and reminds you that supporting your dreams means the world to us. Contact your agent or go to amfam.com to learn about more ways to save.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
Call OK Heating and Air Conditioning, serving Verona and all of Dane County.
Call Air Serve Heating and Air Conditioning, serving the Madison area.
TSR Concrete Coatings is the nation's largest residential concrete coating company, proudly serving homeowners throughout Wisconsin. Our coatings are 4 times stronger than regular epoxy and won't chip, crack, or peel. They're impact resistant and UV stable. Our unique process begins with a base coat to seal cracks and level the surface, then flakes in the color pattern of your choice. A top coat is applied for a durable finished floor that can be installed in as little as 1 day. Act now to save 15% on your concrete coating project. Ask about 12 months, same as cash financing. TSR Nation is growing by the day with satisfied customers throughout Wisconsin, and we want you to be a part of it. As a special bonus, call during this program and receive a free TSR swag pack with your concrete coating project. Call 1-800-886-8411. That's 1-800-886-8411.
Gear Up for Fall is on now at Sloan Implement. Run with the John Deere 1025R compact utility tractor. Get 0% for 84 months on a 1025R. Get a John Deere now during Gear Up for Fall and Powered Up with Sloan.
Welcome back. We're about to make your morning with this beautiful picture by Kevin, a sunset at an Argyle.
That's what we need on a rainy Tuesday.
Oh my goodness.
Feels like a Monday though, even though it's not Monday.
It does. Hey, that's a perk, right? It's already Tuesday.
It's a short week.
It's already Tuesday, and Kevin's sending in a beautiful photo. Not a bad morning for us. Thanks for sending this in, Kevin. If you'd like to share your morning, make sure you use the hashtag MyNews3Morning. We share your pictures right here on the program. 6:24 now. A golden ticket to own a candy factory, no longer a thing of pure imagination.
Yeah, the founder of Jelly Belly is setting up a Willy Wonka-style treasure hunt for his retirement. Take a look at this. The candy founder, David Klein, is launching a golden ticket contest where one lucky winner gets their very own candy factory. The golden tickets are in the form of necklaces with a verification code on them. They're hidden in secret locations across the country. Klein no longer owns Jelly Belly, but is giving away a Candyman Kitchens in Florida to one of the grand prize winner. It costs about $50 to receive the riddle to play.
My stomach already hurts.
What's your candy? What's your favorite candy?
I like anything with peanut butter in it.
Mine's peanut butter and chocolate.
Reese's. Everybody likes Reese's.
Oh my goodness.
I vote for that as well. Down.
I could go for a little ice cream with some Reese's in it this morning.
You guys, it's 6:30. I'm going to be sick just talking about this.
I did tell myself after a weekend of like eating and just constant consuming, yeah, it's time to diet again.
Oh yeah, we're staying inside today. Hattie, maybe laying off the candy.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. Not a lot of outside time today, most likely for us in southern Wisconsin. We do have a little bit of a break from the rain right now. Rain is mainly in the far southeastern corner of the state. Here's a look at the probability of precipitation, though. Pretty high through the entire day. Take a look at our Petwalk forecast. Mickey probably inside today in Fitchburg.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
If you suffer from painful varicose veins or embarrassing spider veins, Stoughton Hospital's Dr. Aaron Schwab can help make those unsightly veins disappear. Call today for your consultation. Stoughton Hospital, trusted care, close to home.
Don't miss out on these great deals at Govan Cars Grand Opening Sale. You can buy 2016 or 2017 Dodge Grand Caravans well equipped for only $10,995 or $175 per month.
That's right. Buy a 2016 or 2017 Dodge Grand Caravan very well equipped starting at $10,995 or $175 per month. So just hurry in today and ask for my dad, Don the Dealman Govan.
Or my daughter, Crystal the Pistol Govan.
You gotta go to Govan, GovanCars.com.
Fry Construction is celebrating their 25-year anniversary, which means big savings on home repairs and improvements. No job is too small or too big, and your safety is always our concern. Respected in the industry and voted Best of Madison, Fry Construction delivers lasting quality for your home. And now, for a limited time, save 25% off gutters or insulation with a full roof, siding, or window project, all with zero down, 0% interest for 12 months. Contact Fry Construction today.
Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Baca Enterprises is truly humbled and thankful to all of our employees, residents, families, and vendors for their patience and cooperation.
Our employees have gone above and beyond with sanitation efforts, altering their daily routines, all while spreading joy and happiness throughout our community.
As you look forward to the future, Beaver Dam Assisted Living will be here for you.
To provide a sense of security and to provide comfort by keeping you safe and healthy.
Together, we're moving forward to help you live life with confidence. Call today to schedule your tour.
He has his grandfather's smile.
Her mother's eyes.
My cheekbones.
But will she have my diabetes?
My sickle cell anemia.
His father's heart disease.
Go to joinallofus.org to share your health information and speed up health research breakthroughs. The future of health begins with you.
Hey, Culligan, got a water pitcher for the fam. Pretty safe, huh?
Well, basic water pitchers are passable, whereas a Culligan reverse osmosis system can reduce lead, arsenic, pesticide runoff.
Not going fast enough. Just done with that.
Let me introduce me.
Cuts, colors, braids, and fades. We stand for style. Cost Cutter Salons.
#1 in color in Wisconsin.
If you suffer from painful varicose veins or embarrassing spider veins, Stoughton Hospital's Dr. Aaron Schwab can help make those unsightly veins disappear. Call today for your consultation. Stoughton Hospital, trusted care, close to home.
It's back to school for Madison students. How long the district could stay virtual and how one group is hoping to help families struggling to get the necessary tech supplies.
And it's a very gray start this morning across southern Wisconsin with showers and isolated thunderstorms set to return by mid-morning. All of the details coming up.
This is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, folks. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us on your September 8th. I'm Leah Lynchine.
And I'm Josh Breiter. Chris Stanford has the morning off. Students in Madison are getting ready to go back to school today virtually. The district made this decision earlier this summer and was unaffected when Dane County mandated a virtual start for most students in public and private schools. MMSD teachers will take attendance every day to make sure students are still showing up. The district says it also helps with making sure students and families have access to resources for their health and emotional well-being. MMSD will stay virtual through at least the first quarter, which ends October 30th. Now, we understand you and your family still have a lot of questions about what this semester could look like and how to make sure your child is getting the best educational experience possible during the pandemic. That's why only on News 3 Now this morning, we're talking with MMSD Superintendent Dr. Carlton Jenkins. He'll join us here in about 15 minutes and tell us what you're still unsure about by sending us those questions on our Facebook page. We'll go in and pick as many as we can to ask Dr. Jenkins for you.
So students might not be heading back to the classroom quite yet, but the Foundation for Madison's Public Schools is working to make sure every kid has what they need to be successful wherever they learn.
Gabrielle Becerra joins us live from Toki Middle School this morning to explain how teachers and students have different supply needs this year. Gabby, good morning to you.
Good morning, Josh and Leah. A lot of the items on the Foundation's wish list this year are the traditional supplies like paper and pencils, but there's also some new supplies designed to help students learn virtually. One of those items are headphones with a microphone attached for video calls with teachers and classmates, which will allow for students to focus on their own work if others are learning or working in the same household. The second is a whiteboard with dry erase markers. Organizers explain that the whiteboard will give students the opportunity to practice concepts and show their teacher their work through the web camera. Organizers say the supply drive will be an evolving process this year, but not ending after the first day of school.
a lot of students starting off the year will not necessarily have the supplies at home. Some of them will, but not all. So we're looking at that as being the drive for right now. But then later on, as we switch to hybrid, we're also understanding that students will not be able to bring supplies from home into the classroom. So they're essentially going to be needing 2 sets of supplies.
A full supply kit costs about $50, and the foundation's goal is to provide kits for 5,000 students in Madison schools. The foundation is accepting donations, both monetary and actual supplies. We'll have a list to their wish list and the donation site on our website, channel3000.com.
Gabrielle Becerra live in Madison. Gabby, thank you very much. Back to school can be stressful, but during a pandemic, the adjustment to virtual learning adds a whole other layer. Unity Point Health Meritor wants to help you and your family with these adjustments. They suggest keeping a consistent schedule similar to what your kids will be expecting at school. This could mean making a visual schedule with pictures, Post-its, or a chalkboard. Reviewing the schedule each morning with your kids could help them manage the flow of the day. Next, take purposeful breaks. This is important for you and your children. For each 25 minutes of consecutive screen time, Meritor suggests working in a 5-minute break away from the screen to get them to move. You can find more of their advice up right now on channel3000.com.
One local school district will have to change up its daily school routine. Students at Brodhead High in Greene County will learn virtually for at least the next 2 weeks. 7 students have tested positive for COVID-19 in that district. The Greene County Public Health Department says the outbreak appears to be tied to a gathering the week before school. The high school will be cleaned today and tomorrow. Now, as schools adjust their reopening plans based on growing cases, many kids might be experiencing some new anxiety.
Amanda Quintana has more on what signs parents should be looking out for and ways to help keep your kids calmer.
So much is changing, and we're still uncertain how the school year will go. Doctors suggest you make sure there are things at home that kids are certain about. With so many kids developing feelings of anxiety and stress, SSM Health family physician Dr. Jason Moen says there are some simple steps to help. One of the big ones is setting up a routine. Having a set schedule is more important now than ever.
For instance, having a routine at bedtime, really, okay, we ate dinner, now I'm reading a book, now I know I go brush my teeth and I go to bed. If they do that every day, it just becomes normal for them. They know what's coming next.
He says anxiety looks different in every kid, but here are some signs you can look out for. Outbursts, anger, retracting and going into a shell, constantly complaining of an upset stomach, or just not eating normally. Another big thing is making sure your kids get enough sleep. That will also help them feel a sense of calm.
Amanda Quintana, thank you. Right now, UW-Madison is asking its undergraduate students to stick to the essentials in response to rising cases of COVID-19 on campus. In a letter to students, Chancellor Rebecca Blank says students should only leave their dorm or residence hall for essential activities. These include getting a COVID-19 test or medical care, going to a class or labs, getting food, or going to work. All in-person social events and club meetings that our university sponsor will be canceled for the next 2 weeks. The university has nearly 900 confirmed cases, up by more than 600 in less than a week. Student government at UW is going one step further this morning. The Associated Students of Madison are asking the UW to move all classes online, lower residence hall capacity, and require a negative COVID-19 test before going to social gatherings. UW-Madison has said it would make changes depending on testing data.
Around the state, at UW-Eau Claire, students in at least 6 residence hall wings are in quarantine this morning. Nearly 200 students could have been exposed to those infected. The university has nearly 70 confirmed cases on campus. 17 of those live on campus, but it's unclear how many are tied to this round of shutdowns. The university didn't say which of its 14 dorms were affected.
New this morning, we're learning a gender reveal party is the cause of this wildfire. California firefighters say a firework machine used at a party over the weekend sparked the El Dorado fire in San Bernardino County. The fire is tearing through nearly 9,000 acres this morning. It is less than 10% contained. California's wildfires have now burned a record 2 million acres this year, And the most dangerous part of the year is still ahead.
6:36 now. A little bit of a different story here, Hattie. Kind of cold in our forecast.
Yeah, and we have rain. Unfortunately, not a lot of rain in that California forecast for the next couple of days, but we do have rain in this part of the country. We've had some rain overnight from Madison and points to the south. Highest amounts right along the state line, where radar is estimating about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain has fallen. Through the day yesterday, most of that rain stayed north of the Toma area. So there is a little bit of a break in our viewing area north of Dane County that hardly saw any rain over the last 24 hours. Now at this time, things are pretty dry across southern Wisconsin. The rain has come to an end for the time being, but all morning I've been watching these showers and isolated thunderstorms work their way into Iowa. They're lifting off to the north and east pretty quickly this morning. So after about a couple of hours, we're likely to see that activity spread into southern Wisconsin. So don't forget that umbrella as you head out the door this morning. All of these showers and thunderstorms are just out ahead of a stationary front, and that front is not going to move much over the next couple of days, so we'll continue to see moisture riding along that front, keeping occasional rain in the forecast, as well as some isolated rumbles of thunder. No severe weather, though, is expected. When you add it up over the next couple of days, here's a look at precipitation potential. We'll stop it at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, so you can see pretty wet for most of southern Wisconsin, everyone picking up at least 1/4 to maybe 1/2 inch of rain. Those totals increase then as you add the rain expected on Wednesday. We could see some areas up over 1 inch, especially north and west of Madison. Our temperatures this morning under the clouds have dropped 1 degree, 51 now in Madison. As you look northward, though, those temperatures really cool down. Take note, some 30s on the map already. Superior, 34 degrees this morning. Clouds are keeping temperatures a little bit warmer here. We don't have to worry about 30s across southern Wisconsin for the next week or so at least. Temperatures, though, are not going to move much today. A northeasterly wind will be increasing, so it's going to be quite breezy today. Look for those on and off showers and isolated thunderstorms to continue through the afternoon, right into the evening hours, and then overnight tonight. So staying pretty wet for southern Wisconsin. Those rain chances then again continue on Wednesday. More of the same tomorrow, unseasonably cold, with highs in the low to middle 50s. After that, though, we finally get back into the 60s. Just slight chances for rain on Thursday and Friday. The weekend, especially the second part of the weekend, looking much better with sunshine returning and highs back in the 70s.
Ooh, perfect pumpkin patch weather next week. What do you guys think?
I'm ready for it. I pulled out my fall decor yesterday. So
did you really?
I really did.
I'd go for apples, maybe. Not quite ready for pumpkins.
There we go.
Date next week.
Apple orchard first, pumpkin patch later.
Yes. I love it. Thank you, Hattie. 6:39 now. For the second time in a week, the Biden campaign is meeting with Jacob Blake's family here in Wisconsin. In her first solo campaign trip, vice presidential nominee Kamala Harris met privately with the Blakes. She says the family is carrying the weight of a lot of voices right now. She also spoke with Jacob Blake himself over the phone. Harris's running mate, Joe Biden, talked to the Blakes during his visit to Wisconsin a week ago. President Trump had declined a meeting with the family during his visit to Kenosha. He says it's because the family's lawyers would have been there. New this morning, we are hearing from those lawyers representing the Blake family about Harris's visit. Attorney Benjamin Crump says Harris spoke individually with each family member, urging them to take care of their physical and mental health. Crump also says Harris talked about police policy changes she and Biden would implement if they were elected.
Vice President Mike Pence also in Wisconsin yesterday. His trip focused on promoting President Trump's pre-coronavirus jobs record and stressing a commitment to producing a vaccine for COVID-19 by the end of the year. He made his remarks at Dairyland Power Cooperative in La Crosse. Pence did not mention Jacob Blake. Trips from both vice presidential candidates signified just how important both campaigns view Wisconsin as a swing state heading into the November election. Battleground states like Wisconsin are facing the growing concern that not all votes could be counted. Thousands of absentee ballots could be rejected or get rejected rather in every presidential election. But because of the expected surge in demand for mail-in ballots and a strained postal service, this problem could be much worse this year. Up to 3 times as many voters could be disenfranchised in battleground states compared to 2016. New, young, black, and Hispanic voters are disproportionately impacted. All have had absentee ballots rejected at higher rates than white and more experienced mail-in voters.
House Democrats are investigating the Postmaster General this morning. The Washington Post reports they believe Louis DeJoy lied under oath. New accusations allege DeJoy reimbursed employees for campaign contributions made to his preferred GOP politicians. An arrangement like this would, of course, be illegal. DeJoy repeatedly denied repaying executives for contributions to President Trump's campaign during testimony last month. A spokesperson for the Postal Service has not responded for comment. President Trump says he doesn't know anything about the investigation, but says he would support firing DeJoy if the accusations against him are true.
Just about 6:42 on this Tuesday morning on a live look outside. A very dreary start to this shortened work week. Hattie's going to be talking about more rain chances and just how cool it's going to be coming up in her forecast.
And it's back to school for Madison students. We're asking the district superintendent your questions. He'll answer them coming up after the break.
Lately, we've come to appreciate what home has to offer. Right now at Feldco, buy one window and you'll get one free, plus no interest for 1 year. That'll help keep your home and your family warm, safe, and comfortable all year long. That's something we've been providing for almost 50 years. Let Feldco get you ready for colder weather. Buy one window, get one free now.
Buy one, get one free, and soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Let us help you create your family's recipe for health. SSM Health and News 3 Now are making it easy by putting all the ingredients right at your fingertips. With topics like healthy habits, nutrition, and mental well-being, there's something for everyone. Visit Channel 3000's Time for Kids page for advice from SSM Health experts.
And catch fresh and informative reports on News 3 Now.
Take time for kids with SSM Health and News 3 Now.
Surgenian's 90th anniversary has store-wide savings, and when you have Madison's biggest selection of flooring, it means big savings. And that means every department from carpeting to wood to waterproof flooring to rugs, plus special 18-month financing too. Local, sustainable Surgenians.
I want a client who comes in to feel comfortable and to know that their case is in good hands so they can relax and get on with their life as best as they can and let me do the fighting for them. That's how I want them to feel.
Gingras, Thompson, and Walks.
I was sworn into the United States Senate in a hospital. My wife and daughter had been killed in an automobile crash. And lying in the bed were my two little boys. I couldn't have imagined what it would have been like if I didn't have insurance that covered them immediately and fully. 40 years later, one of those little boys, my son Bo, was diagnosed with terminal cancer, given months to live. I can't fathom what would have happened if the insurance companies had the power to say, last few months you're on your own. The fact of the matter is, healthcare is personal to me. Obamacare is personal to me. When I see the President of the United States try to eliminate this health care in the middle of a public health crisis, that's personal to me too. We got to build on what we did because every American deserves affordable health care. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Quarter to 7 on this Tuesday. Hattie's here with a look at your first warned weather forecast, and it's not a great one, at least to start off this week, Hats.
No, big change over the last 24 hours. You'll definitely need your jacket today and the umbrella. Rain is in the forecast. We have just cloudy skies right now. All that rain that we had overnight has shifted to the south and east, but there will be rain returning shortly. Showers and isolated thunderstorms are forecast on and off through the day right into this evening, so be prepared for that. Our temperatures are near 50 degrees in most spots. Take a look at the temperature trend through the day, though. We are really not moving anywhere. This is a chilly first day of virtual school for some. Temperatures will stay in the low to mid 50s through the entire day. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll talk more about those long-term temperature trends and tell you how long we're going to stay in the 50s.
All right, Hattie, thank you very much. 6:46 now. The day is finally here. Back to to school for students in the Madison School District. Now, we spent the last month here on the program making sure parents are prepared, and we continue that today with new school superintendent, Dr. Carlton Jenkins.
Dr. Jenkins is joining us this morning to answer your questions about heading back to class virtually. Doctor, good morning, and thanks for waking up. We know you're extra busy right now.
Well, thank you for having me here this morning. We're very excited to start school. And actually, I don't know if I actually woke up because I was so excited about starting school today. I think I stayed up all night.
Oh, boy.
Excited to talk to us,
I was going to say, yeah, you better have that coffee flowing this morning. Let's get right to the questions. We've got a lot to talk about. We've talked a lot about concerns about the achievement gap growing in a virtual environment. What's the district doing right now to make sure kids who may not have reliable internet access don't fall through the cracks?
Well, thank you for asking that question, and you're exactly right, as all the literature points to. The students who are traditionally falling behind and in the achievement piece during virtual learning, they have too falling more behind. So as a district, what we started doing last spring, we jumped out and began to make sure that all students had access to technology, including hotspots. Right now, we've communicated from all of our schools that anyone in need of technology, in need of hotspots, we're asking that they please contact the school. That anyone knows of any one of our students not having the necessary technology, please contact our schools, and we're standing here ready to serve.
So we know your team has identified students who never logged on or participated during virtual learning last spring. What's being done to make sure that those students are logging on today and this semester?
That's an excellent question, and I will tell you this summer, our team really worked really hard. We had a partnership with UW-Madison where we identified approximately 300 students who did not engage as we wish they would have last spring, and we started engaging them this summer. We're waiting on the data to come back from that in terms of what happened with all of our students in terms of the gaps that may have been closed. But also this summer, we had amazing staff reaching out to our students, our principals and our teachers alike. They were reaching out and just trying to keep those relationships going. As we began to open up this year, we have continued to look at those students and identify those students who did not engage, and we're making an extra effort. And we know that a large portion of our students who had fallen behind or who have not engaged were Black and brown students and some of our special needs students alike. And we've been very intentional. Our chiefs are working with the principals to make sure those students who did not connect do get connected, and that we're also setting up supports for them, because it's bigger than just the academic piece. We know that some of those students have some serious challenges put on us by COVID-19 and the civic unrest around racial tension. So we're trying to make sure we establish those very positive relationships, not only with the students, but also engaging our parents as well around these two topics.
Speaking of that trauma, that anxiety that students might be feeling right now, you know, there have been some really traumatic events here in Madison and around the country, from the shooting death of Anissa Scott, an 11-year-old, to what happened in Minneapolis, to Kenosha. How much emotional support is being built into the day for these students?
Well, that is an excellent question, and I appreciate it, because our staff, we've done quite a bit on the socio-emotional level and very concerned about the mental health, not only of our students, but also our staff and our parents. The whole world right now is facing a lot of unrest because of these particular challenges. And when you talk about that type of racial trauma on top of these life challenges with COVID-19, we have to really try to decompress our students and really engage them in ways that we can address their socio-emotional needs first before we can get to the high rigorous learning that we're trying to have in our district. So as a result, we've set up teams in our schools, advisees, and where we're going to be particularly looking at our students as we're delivering our instruction to see if students actually have some of those needs that a teacher could identify, or even a parent. If you know that your child's having a challenge, please contact us. We're very concerned about making sure that all of our students' socio-emotional needs are being met, and their mental health needs are being met during this time.
All right, we want to squeeze in one quick question here. If there is someone that is confirmed with COVID-19, as some people will still be in the school, what's going to happen there?
Well, right now, you know, this is a public health situation, and there's the privacy of all individuals, be it a student or be it an adult, and we will follow all of the public health guidelines as we have been given those in terms of how to respond if something happens. But trust me when I say, as a district, we are prepared on that level. We have guidance that we're also putting out explaining exactly how we will respond if some case comes up at this time.
Dr. Jenkins, we so appreciate your time. Thanks for waking up early with us today, and good luck today. Hope everything goes well.
Happy first day.
Oh, happy first day. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you giving this time, much needed time, to the school districts to point things out to our community as well. Thank you so much.
Have a good one. 6:51 now. Stick around. The morning sprint is coming up after the break.
But first, it's September 8th, and we want to say happy birthday to Colin and all the other kids turning 3 today.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
The versatile Kubota BX Series. Easily switch attachments to mow, haul, trench, or do whatever needs to get done. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo.
Lawless criminals terrorize Kenosha. Joe Biden takes a knee. Biden and the radical left's weak response has led to chaos and violence, and their calls for defunding police would make it worse. President Trump is making it stop, sending National Guard and federal law enforcement to protect Wisconsin's families. Communities, not criminals. Jobs, not mobs. Strong leadership when America needs it most.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Habitat for Humanity of Dane County continues building and bringing stability to families through homeownership. As area families experience hardships, Habitat provides a pathway to financial security and independence. Strengthen our community. Support Habitat Dane County.
Replacing your windows with Renewal by Andersen is easy. We're here when you need us, and we'll work with you the way you want. We can inspect your windows from the exterior of your home. And when it's time to install your new windows, we complete most jobs in as little as 1 day, minimizing the amount of time in your home. Our teams take health and safety seriously. It's the kind of experience you've come to expect from the Renewal by Andersen name, and the promise you deserve with our signature service.
1, 2, 3,
Right now, you can get $2,000 customer cash on a stylish new 2020 Toyota Camry or Camry Hybrid. Toyota, let's go places.
This car since you were 8 policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
A1 Furniture and Mattress on Stoughton Road is now open. With quality mattresses at the guaranteed best price. Try before you buy and take it home today. That's why we're A1. Locally owned and operated since 1980.
The Kubota L Series, powerful Kubota diesel engine, easy operation, and a dependable Kubota gear or HST transmission. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo.
Sauk Prairie Healthcare Orthopedics. Listening, healing, caring. It's in our nature.
6:55, time for the morning sprint.
Students in Madison are getting ready to go back to school virtually today. The district made that decision earlier this summer and was unaffected when Dane County mandated a virtual start for most students. Madison teachers will take attendance every day to make sure students are still showing up. The district says it also helps with making sure students and families have access to resources for their health and emotional well-being. Madison will stay virtual through at least the first quarter. That ends October 30th.
A virtual start to the school year won't mean having to go without breakfast and lunch for Madison students. Starting today, your children will be able to get free meals at one of 40 sites. But it's not just one meal. It's enough food for breakfast and lunch for the school week. Each site will have one pickup day per week.
Breaking overnight, Madison police are looking for someone they say robbed a general store with a foot-long knife. It happened around 10 last night at the Casey's on Cross Hill Drive, not too far from Highway 151. Police say the man did get away with some cash. Officers are looking at surveillance video to try and identify him, but anyone with information or anybody who might have seen something is asked to contact Madison area Crime Stoppers.
And your first warned weather forecast starts with cloudy skies across southern Wisconsin. A break in the rain right now, but the rain is expected to return by 10 o'clock this morning. Temperatures will hold steady in the low to mid 50s all day. Kind of a rainy and cool couple of days ahead, but temperatures do get back into the 70s as we head into next week.
Hattie, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Make it a great day.